Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in the supercar paddock at the Ferraris today for a hill climb run in the SF90 Spider. Now this is going to be epic fun, but it's not the only thing to tell you about today. I am very excited to reveal that I have ordered a Ferrari SF90 Stradale, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that as well, but it will be joining the Shmeemobiles at some point next year. I cannot wait. The 1000 horsepower first series production hybrid from Ferrari. Let's go have a quick look at the Spider though and get ready to go up the Hillclimb Run. There are the two SF90s here, the Stradale in front of us, the coupe, Stradale being the Italian word for road, and the Spider just beyond with the retractable hardtop, the folding convertible version. This wears the Assetto Fiorano, that's the Fiorano pack, which means the lighter weight, more focused car. We've got a little bit more aero with the carbon lip spoiler back here, lighter weight with the carbon wheels, the carbon bucket seats. It also has a more track-focused suspension system, which actually does away with the front lifter if you order the Assetto Fiorano. Then beyond the Stradale, we come through, we have the Spider, currently roof up. We'll pop that down in just a moment. In fact, I've actually got the key for the car myself just here. We'll climb on board. We'll take plenty of opportunity to listen to the sound of it. We've got a 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 combined with 3 electric motors, one on the powertrain, 2 on the front axle, so technically 4-wheel drive. And when you drive it in e-drive, you're actually driving a front-wheel drive Ferrari, the first time ever. I think it looks incredible. It's actually a surprisingly long car. Obviously the elongated nose to help with aero, but a very clean looking car considering the performance that it offers. It is faster around Ferrari's test track Fiorano in Maranello than the LaFerrari. To give you some perspective, the price point though coming in at about a third of that, which offers the ultimate in performance bang for your buck. There's nothing else like this in terms of launching, in terms of track times, but also in terms of comfort on the road. And that was one of the things that surprised me the most when I drove recently the SF90 Stradale out in the hills near to Maranello in Italy to get a feel for what it was all about. If I come on round though, where we've got the Monza SP2 just over on the other side, to show you a little bit more inside here and what we have with the SF90, both Stradale and Spider. We've got the carbon fiber driver zone, you've got the 16-inch curved digital dashboard display, this mix of new technology with the traditional Ferrari style, the shift lights up top, but even this, linking back to classic Ferraris and the old gated manual shifters, but now with the new electronic control as well, your launch control, manual, automatic, and whatever else it might be. In this car, it's also fitted with the optional carbon fiber buckets. There is both the normal seat and a style seat as different options, and we'll talk about plenty of those as we get a little bit closer towards the production and the process that we'll go into, well, my SF90 Stradale. But let me just climb on board here for a moment to show you a few bits and pieces. Very carefully does it. One press to wake up the car very quickly. You get that cool little graphic on the display. Everything comes into life. You've got various different displays and things that you can show here. For example, you can put it into full e-drive mode if you'd like to drive electrically, or you can go into qualifying mode where it will maximize the performance. You turn it up here, probably ESC off. We'll see how it's going to be driven in a moment, and play with these various different settings. Hybrid is of course the main road mode. Then behind us we have the switch here in the center to open up the roof. So let's give this a quick go so you can see exactly how this process works. As the rear, sorry, let go of the button there, as the rear deck opens up, the two pieces of the retractable hardtop fold over behind, the rear window drops down, those tuck in underneath the rear deck. Smooth process that you can do while you're driving. Finish, and you can actually also optionally raise or lower that rear window depending how you'd like to have it as well, for the aero, for the sound, and for what it's like inside the cabin. Now there are a lot of confusing options in terms of the SF90 and how it can be had, but we're going to be taking this out. So in a moment I'll be hopping into the passenger seat for a run up the hill climb to see how this is when it's driven in anger. The cold start of the V8. It's actually quite a loud sound. It's a very characterful sound. A lot of noises as we're going to hear on the drive. We're going to get the car warmed up though before we head out to get everything prepared for this. We are making our way out then, following the SF90 Stradale. We have the Monza SP2 behind us. The other lineup of Ferraris have just made their way around. We're here in the Michelin Supercar Paddock at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and the lineup of cars around us is just breathtaking. All of the latest and greatest from all the different manufacturers. The 812 GTS is in front of the SF90 Stradale. This is This is going to be totally crazy. We go past the McLarens and things like the new Maserati MC20, and just looking at the SF90 in front of us, knowing that we're in one of those as well. This is going to be totally crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We make our way around then, the lineup of all of the different cars. We've got first glance as well. Oh, okay. Whoa, you feel that torque. So we go past the Valkyrie there, F8. Tyre warning, I'm very aware of it.
Yeah, you have 1,000 horsepower.
It's not small and four-wheel drive. Whew. So we're pretty much set up. What are we in for driving?
Okay, so the car's got two Manettinos. You've got your traditional Manettino, wet, sport, dry, kind of going up. The safety net that gets smaller as we go up through these Manettino settings. Then we have the E-Manettino on this side, and we have hybrid, E-Drive, performance and quali mode. In performance mode we have a combined output of 875 horsepower, and in quali we have the full 1,000. So yeah, we're going both barrels. It was wet first thing this morning, so I've gone to sport, which is the default dry setting. I'm not going to go to race just yet, because up past the Flint wall it's still a bit greasy. But no, it's nice to get the Manettino out of wet, because in wet obviously it softens the car off and gives it a very conservative, safe approach, whereas in sport that's more of a default dry setting.
Which kind of makes sense when you're talking a car that offers 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, completely.
You know, a road car.
You know, yeah. The one thing the SF90 isn't lacking is power.
That's for sure. You spent a lot of time behind the wheel of these.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I've sort of driven them all over the world. I've done a lot of dealer training. I've done a lot of time on track. I've done a lot of time giving static presentations, and I've driven them on the road a lot, and they are just great. The full EV electric range makes the car genuinely usable. You know, Heathrow to the centre of London without starting the petrol engine is nuts.
Which is the thing that makes no sense in a car that looks as good as this.
I know.
Yeah, you can drive it electrically, as we have this whole range of the current lineup of supercars from the world driving past us, which is incredible to see as well. But no, this should be quite the ride. I'm pleased to be in your hands.
Pleased you're here.
Awesome. Here we go then, rolling up to the start line. Get ready to hold on tight, because 1,000 horsepower off the line is no joke. The SF90 ahead of us has gone. All right, we wait until we get given the go. Here we go. Oh wow, the torque. Relentless, just keeps going from one gear to the next. So we go up this famous piece of tarmac, turning into a nice dry piece of tarmac, a beautiful day after the pouring of rain. Gosh. So we come up towards the deadly Flint wall, where there is a lot to lose here. Brake back out, the trees to the open. The acceleration as we come up towards the finish. 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour across the line. Oh, the torque. Yeah, that's torque fill. That's the benefit of electric motors on the front axle. And feeling that. Nice one, thank you. We arrived then up at the top. Two Lotuses, the Via and the Mira, and all of the Ferraris, of course. The Portofino M in front, the F8 Tributo and the 812 GTS. And they park us very, very tightly because of how busy it gets up here. That was incredible, thank you.
No worries, man.
Thanks for that, John.
No worries.
The amazing thing being here, the Zenvo TSRS, Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, Lotus Evija, everything that's in front of us, the Ferrari Monza SP2 just pulled in, new 911 GT3 going around, This is just, I love this car, by the way, the Monza. You can't drive it every day, obviously, lack of roof, but when you do drive it, it's quite the experience. The 812 GTS sharing a lot of that emotional side of things as well. This is just dreamland when you're here. If you wander through, have a look at this. Aston Martin Valkyrie making its dynamic debut here. The V12 Speedster in front, new Mustang Mach-E GT as well, Ferrari Roma, we've got Polestar, Corvette over there, everything. Look at this aero, look at that. Look at all the design of this thing. Totally crazy. Really cool, really cool to just be here surrounded by all of these. And obviously for me, to take in some of the different spec and options that's available for the SF90. What's coming around there? GT3 Touring comes on round as well. But with the cars, you can start to see some of the different options. Of course, you can spec all of the exterior visual carbon fibre. You can have the gloss black roof as standard, the dual tone, or you can opt to have it full body colour. You get the carbon spoiler piece back here with the Assetto Fiorano. You can also have this in carbon. That's optional. I don't necessarily think it's needed. We've got the Pagani Huayra Roadster BC just pulling in back there as well. So you can opt to have the carbon diffuser. I think the visual carbon on the exterior is quite a must. Not the biggest fan of the carbon wheels on the car though. Prefer that wheel, but probably in full silver as opposed to the dual tone. Then we've got, this is a right-hand drive example, carbon for the interior trims. You can have those carbon or a more anodized silver look, depending which obviously option packs you go for. And then there's a whole host of technology systems available, both of these cars with the carbon interior and the carbon tunnel. You can have that carbon, both parts carbon, both parts leather, Alcantara. You can do all sorts of different colors, lots of different things. It'd be great fun to go through specing all of this up. And then you can also spec it with the ADAS, which this doesn't have, the advanced driver assistance systems, giving you radar and different sensors and things at the front to help with adaptive cruise control, daily driving, life, that kind of thing. In fact, here, we've got the 360 cameras and we've got the sensor just tucked in underneath. Not necessarily the most sightly, but when you've got a plate on, and given we're here in the UK, we'll have to have a plate at the front. You don't really notice those down below. So I think that's going to be a must for me to have all of those bits and pieces on the spec of the car. Yeah, just being here, more cars coming in, arriving up. 765 LT, good times, amazing run. A lot of fun. It's time to prepare ourselves then for the run back down to base. We'll get a lovely Monza SP2 start up in just a moment, but the gentle cruise back down the hill with all of the cars, lots of engines running at the moment. You can hear the whine of the Valkyrie up ahead. I'm gonna get a Monza. I'm waiting for the Monza because it just sounds so good. And the Bugatti poking through, even the lovely dark purple on this Dawn black badge being driven by my friend Jack. We'll get that in a second. Oh, that sound is so good. There's nothing like a Ferrari V12 when it comes to an emotional sound of an engine. Of course, a very different prospect to something like this. That sounds so good. Thank you. Amazing. The white one rolls on by. I think the left lane of cars are going to head out before we do. So we've got the F8 Spider. The yellow is very nice on that. I like it a lot. Yellow Ferrari just seems to fit. Yellow being the colour of the Modena region in Italy. Obviously the more traditional red Ferraris that everybody knows, none of which we have here actually. All the cars here are, well, mostly blue looking around us. And past the Roma as well. And off we go for the run. Gentle cruise back down the hill. Look at that, you can just hear the whine of the Valkyrie a mile away. Oh wow. And this snaking line of supercars making their way back down the hill. And of course, we are actually in e-drive, electric mode, 50 kilometers an hour, 25 kilometers of range at the moment. Silent running, silently in a convertible, which is a very unusual prospect. With that noise ahead of us. Obviously I've got my passenger display as well, which is standard in here, to have the ability to see various different things, to set the nav, the audio, interact with this screen, or from here, change some settings, bits and pieces, bring out the performance display. I think it's the most interesting. Beautiful views here at West Sussex. A couple of revs from the F8, rolling down the hill in neutral. Why not? There's huge intakes at the side. Again, another carbon fibre option for those. You can see looking in the mirror view. In this particular car, we've got the carbon fibre bulkhead as well. Back here, see these carbon fibre seats too. Out in the sunshine, past the Goodwood house. Up on the TV you can see the F8 Spider as well at the moment. As we'll make our way into that view in just a second as well, I suppose. Oh, there goes the Valkyrie. Lotus celebrating this year. There we are, onto the screen. Supercar Paddock used to be just off to the right here, and it's now moved down towards this new larger area to give everything a little bit more space. As we go past the Ferrari hospitality area as well, with all of that view in front. It does not get much better than a lovely day out here in the sunshine at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Well, here we are then, back in the Supercar Paddock. The carnage of everybody parking at the same time. We've got the reversing camera on the main dashboard display here. Some incredible cars all around us. So we're just going to get lined up and parked up back in our bay here. Well, thank you very much for that run. Appreciated it a lot.
Pleasure.
And yeah, let me hop on out. Press the button, electric door release. Carefully does it. Wow, what a drive. Awesome experience here then with this. The Ferrari SF90 Spider, of course, now a future Shmeemobile, something I am very excited about. I'm looking forward to bringing you on the journey really as we talk more about the specification options, run through the configuration that I'm going to go for until ultimately collecting the car, bringing it into the garage, and many, many fun adventures ahead with Ferrari's first series production hybrid, a car with more power than the LaFerrari, the most powerful road car in fact that Ferrari have ever made. And in this form, looking absolutely breathtaking as well. Truly, truly awesome. Very, very exciting. And also, by the way, my first ever new Ferrari. I've owned an FF, I've owned a GTC4 Lisso. There might be some more things in future, but my first new order, new specification is going to be for an SF90. I cannot wait. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining this adventure. Thank you to Ferrari for the opportunity today to jump out on board the SF90 Spider. But that is it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.